Except that this woman is married and has kids, but her husband doesn't do hospitals. So he can't take her because hospitals freak him out.
This video, when I watched it just clicked to my head that some people that are feeling lonely, feeling like, oh my god, I need a man, I don't want a man, I just want to get married, I want someone to call my own. What if you get that man and you're still lonely, you're still alone in that relationship? This is like one of the example, because let me just roll the clip. I don't want to tell you what happened. Let me just roll the clip for you all to watch. Then we'll come back and talk about it.
So I'm at my parents' house right now. My mom is telling me like some times and days that she's not gonna be around because one of her best friends got diagnosed with breast cancer, and she's like helping to drive her to her appointments, which is obviously a wonderful thing to do, and that's great, except that this woman is married and has kids, but her husband doesn't do hospitals. So he can't take her because hospitals freak him out. They freak him out. He can't do it. He can't. It's way too hard. Her cancer is really hard for him. So I just want to say to like everyone out there, to all of those podcast bros, to everyone who comments on this, whenever people are like, oh, if you don't get married and you don't have kids, what's going to happen when you're older? You're going to wake up and you're going to realize that you've wasted your whole life and you're all alone. Who's going to take care of you if you get sick? Like, nope. It is my female friends now. It has been my female friends, and it will be my female friends. And listen, like, I get it. It's not all men. Like, my dad is also helping out with this and, like, helping my mom and helping to take care of my mom's best friend because he loves her, too. And that's the thing. Like, I mean, my friends who have boyfriends, like, I love their boyfriends. Like, it's just that it's a gamble. Like, it's all a crapshoot. It is all a gamble. So stop presenting this idea that, like, women should settle or they need to get married, because if they don't, they're going to be alone.
You know when they say that men, your husband will leave you when you're dead sick, like when you're going through a lot, when you're sick, men will run, they won't stay, unlike women that will stay with you even if you cannot lift a finger, even if you cannot go to the toilet yourself. A woman will stay with you through thick and thin, but a man will not stay with you when you're sick. This is the definition. This video. Hey beautiful people, how are you all doing today? Check out my David, and I'm back again with another interesting video. You know what they tell you, that if you're going to be successful, you will still need a man because you'll be lonely, you'll be this and that. It's all a lie, because look at, she has a man but she's calling her best friend. And shout out to all the good friends, all the genuine friends, all the friends that got our back when we need help that our man cannot do for us. Shout out to them, because they are lifesaver. Imagine if she didn't have a best friend, probably after she got married, and she just like, okay, I'm gonna say no to all my friends, I got my man now. Who's gonna take us to the hospital? Because a man doesn't do hospital. Like, he doesn't do hospital. It doesn't even make sense to me. I have interesting stitches to share with you all, so let us sit down, relax, and watch the stitches together. At the end of all the stitches, I'll be back with my own opinion. But then let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section.
Mom was telling me like some times and days that she's not gonna be around because one of her best friends got diagnosed with breast cancer, and she's like helping to drive her to her appointments, which is obviously a wonderful thing to do, and that's great, except that this woman is married and has kids, but her husband doesn't do hospitals. So he can't take her because hospitals freak him out. They freak him out. He can't do it. He can't. It's way too hard. Her cancer is really hard for him.
One of the worst things that ever happened to single men was married women sharing their stories. The more women get a glimpse of what life is like with some of you behind closed doors after you say I do, the less attractive it is for single women. And that's why they're saying I don't, I won't, I will never. We've seen the videos with a woman barely even being married to you for a few minutes and you wrestling her down to the ground, smashing cake in her face. Even after she begs you, you're literally tussling with the woman to smash cake in her face. We see how men act the millisecond they become your husband. This man vowed to this woman that he would be there for her in good times and bad, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health. She said, I do. And he says, I don't, because I don't do hospitals. And she had to get sick to figure out that this man wasn't really going to keep his vows. Statistics show that women are 6 times more likely than men to be left when they get cancer. Because some men feel like you're supposed to cook and clean and do all these things for me. And if something happens to you when you can't do those things, I don't know if I can stick around. Stop belittling female friendships, because some of those people are better at being there for you than your mate. People prioritize romantic relationships, but when times get hard, a lot of times it's your friend that you're able to count on. Where would she be if not for her friend? So what happens when he gets sick? She's supposed to be there for him, right? Because the vows are only supposed to be for you. They want to hear you say them. They don't want to live by them. You're the one that's doing all the promising. Some men only believe the vows are for you. They were never meant for them. These are promises that you're making to them, not a mutual thing that's supposed to be beneficial for us both. When I'm sick, you're supposed to be there for me. Me for you, I don't know.
Not gonna be around because one of her best friends got diagnosed with breast cancer, and she's like helping to drive her to.
Y'all, go back and watch the whole video of the original creator. Basically, what she says is one of her mom's best friend is diagnosed with cancer, and the mom is the one driving her friend to all her chemo appointments. And mind you, this is a woman, that woman who has cancer, she has a husband, she has children, and the reason the husband doesn't take her to appointments is because he doesn't do hospitals. Hospitals are too much for him. Are you serious right now? So it's just insane. So the reason I wanted to make this video is to talk about one thing. Very frequently, what do people say to single women? What do they tell us? They tell us, oh, but when you get old, when we tell them that we're doing good because we have friends and we will rely on them to take us through our tough times, what do they say to us? Oh, but those friends are not going to be there in your time of need. Oh, it's only a spouse that will. Shut up. No, they won't. Like, don't y'all know the statistic? Like, what is it? Men are 7 times more likely to leave their wives or girlfriends when they get sick. I know a lot of y'all are not gonna like me saying this. I'm saying what you don't want to hear, but it's what it is. It's the statistic. Men are 7 times more likely to leave their partners when they get sick, and I think this is true because I have met men in my lifetime who have done shit like that. This actually reminded me of a man like many years ago that I saw. I would think we were volunteering together or something. He was an older man, and he said he'd been married a few times, and he literally told me, I'm not joking, I would never joke about this, that he left one of his wives when she got diagnosed with dementia. No, I'm not joking. I kid you not. He did this. A lot of people start, and I've come across people, other men in my life, like they will start behaving rudely with their wives or their girlfriends, or when they're sick, they'll start treating them like they're some type of inconvenience, and just making their lives miserable, as if it's their fault that they're sick, as if they chose to be sick. I even heard from another woman the other day on this app talking about how I think she was like the primary breadwinner or something, and her husband and her husband was totally okay with that, and that, when she was able to earn and go to work, and he also was bringing home some money, and things were fine until she got sick with cancer. Then all of a sudden, the husband, he starts being all resentful because he's got to step up a little bit more and do this and kind of help out because she's not able to work as much, or maybe at all, So this is a very real thing that does happen, and when people say to me and other single women, oh, but who's going to be there for you at your lowest times? Yes, it will be our friends. We cannot discount the power of female friendship. We just cannot, okay? It's like, no, we don't. This is another reason why it's important to not lose yourself and don't start neglecting your friendships just because you got a man. Don't do that, okay? You need female friends. They are the ones that are going to be your ride or dies. A lot of the time, they will be there with you through thick and thin. I mean, of course, if they're good, the ones that are truly good people, you got to take the time to find good ones, Believe in yourself. They will be there with you through thick and thin. They will be the ones that, if your relationship does not work out, or if you're having trouble, they will be there. They're the ones that you're going to go to. more times than not to talk to them. And yeah, and like, before y'all get offended in the comments, I'm not saying all men, but I am saying a lot of them do stuff like this. I've come across enough in my life, and I've heard of enough stories on this app. So ladies, don't neglect your female friends. Don't ever, don't undermine the power of friendship.
Lynn.
A long time ago, I'm paraphrasing now, but I heard a quote by Iyanla Vanzant when she said, think about a time when you were down, you needed someone to pick you up off the floor, drive you to the airport, or $10. Who was there? Another woman. And it really stuck in my mind because I remember being in relationships and going through a hard time in life, and my female friends came through for me more so than the people or the person who claimed to love me more than anyone else in the world and wanted to build a life with me. And I found that so fascinating because I thought, how could you be with me forever and build a life with me? You can't even do this little thing, you know? And so after hearing that, I thought, I'm just going to treat all my friendships with women as though I'm going to know them forever. And they're like family, and it enriched my life so much. So, and actually just this creator as well, the story that she told, I did have a coworker who was diagnosed with cancer, and her friend didn't drive, didn't have a license, didn't have a car. Every single day after work, and she had like a heavy job, okay? She would take a train out of the city to her friend's town to visit her after chemo every single day, did not miss a day, did this for months, cooked for her kids, cooked for her husband, and then would take the train back into the city, go to bed, and wake up and work all the next day. And she did that until her friend was back on her feet. So if that's not love, I honestly, that's an angel, that's a soulmate. I don't even know if there's words to describe such devotion.
So I'm at my parents' house right now. My mom is telling me like some times and days that she's not gonna be around because one of her best
bills that were
So,
signed into law over the course of the whole year. That's the
click on the stitch
any year in Congress ever.
and you'll see the person talking about this. So I know how this woman felt, the one with the original video of her mom taking her friend to the hospital because the husband doesn't do hospitals because the woman had cancer. So December 2020, I contracted COVID. Remember when COVID was really, really bad during that time? Well, it took me hard. Side note, I caught it from my ex-husband. And I came home and I told him, hey, I got COVID. You need to go get tested, do all this. And he literally had a whole fit.
Again, only met for 3 months of that year. We are almost
He did not take care of me. He proceeded to sit there and call me a liar, and that was you not feeling well. All this. You know who brought me food? My coworkers and my friends. You know who got me medicine? My coworkers, family, and friends. Do you know who took care of me? Who took care of the dog? My coworkers did. He, on the other hand, still went to work. Did not tell his boss. Didn't tell anybody that he walked around with COVID. I guess he ended up having COVID. Didn't call the ambulance. My best friend since the 5th grade did. I also called, and the 911 operators were, well, do you think your husband will answer the phone? I was like, ma'am, he didn't even want to answer the door. You know, do you think he'll do X, Y, and Z? Ma'am, he didn't make the phone call because my ex-husband said to me, if you can scream my name, you can breathe. I could not breathe. He did not even show the ambulance people, EMTs, where I was. He said that she's down there.
Other than Il Duce, other than the leader, other than the executive. Mm-hmm. So the legal system.
This man was ready to let me die.
Or gets undercut or weakened or closed down or co-opted. You see that happen.
And then had the nerve to say, well, you went to the hospital and you didn't care about me because I was sick. Yeah, your tail, already cussed, your tail could have told the ambulance driver, hey, call another one because I don't feel well either. He chose not to. Gaslighting, manipulating. Didn't want to pick fights, want a text message. Don't tell them, don't you love me? Don't you care about me? You don't want me to lose my job? Because, back then it was doing, what do you call it? Contract tracing, right? Contract tracing. And they was asking all these questions. And I did. I told him exactly where he worked and told him all this other stuff. Oh, yeah. And then didn't want to come get me.
It is part of the anti-democratic authoritarian project. This Congress is
Came and got me in my car. Didn't help me inside the car. Didn't help me outside the car. Did nothing. Nothing. Barely fed me. You know who did it? Took care of me? My friend's family. You know what I did? I filed for divorce. I did. I filed for a divorce. I found an attorney and filed for a divorce. And then he got mad and made my life miserable. He was abusive, emotionally, verbally, sexually, and financially. And it took me a year to divorce him. And I'm living my best life. Best life. Best life. I understand what he doesn't do hospitals. That's code word. I'm waiting for your ass to die because I really don't want to divorce you. But I will. But I want you to die first. I don't have to do that.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future.
These men out here are trifling.
They are the future.
Trifling.
As usual, if you're still here, kindly put your thoughts, your comments, your opinion, your suggestion down in the comment section. All opinions are accepted if you put them down respectfully. This video, I learned a lot in this video, the original video. Like, a lot could be learned. Like, if you pay attention word for word and imagine the scenario, you will learn a lot. And that video reminds me of a post I've seen one time that someone was like, if you want to know if your husband cares so much about you as they claim or loves you as they claim they do, fall sick. Fall sick. And you will know if they truly care. The way they behave when you're sick, the way they act, the way they take care of you, the way they pamper you will show how much they really truly care about you. I think now I'm getting to understand, because when I saw the post I was like, it's been long ago. But now, like, he said it doesn't do hospitals. I don't think there is anybody that just personally, okay, maybe there are, but that will just personally sit down and be like, oh, I love going to the hospitals because I see people a lot that are sick. I don't think it's going to the hospital, aside from doing normal checkup, I don't think it's a tourist place, or I don't think it's somewhere that, oh, I'm going to take you to the hospital, you're gonna feel good about it. Like, going to the hospital is a sad moment for almost everybody, because even if you went with a particular illness, when you get there you see someone with serious sickness even more than you. In fact, you see some people even dying. You even see some people might even die beside you, might even have something even less than you, and they might even drop dead. So going to the hospital, for everybody, it shouldn't be something like a thing that is going to bring joy to your face. You just want to get well. It's a place to go to get well. So you telling your wife that you don't do hospitals, call your friend to drive you there because I don't do hospitals. Hospitals freaks me out. That statement is equals to, I hate you, I want you to die, I don't want you around, go meet your friend and I'll be fine. So the other parts of the video about friendship is very important when you are married. This part of the world I don't know where you are, how is it there, but this part of the world I am, once you get married, your friends tend to run away from you. Like, it's like their program to stay away from you, especially the ones that are not married. So tend to stay away from you because they feel like, oh, your status has changed now. You cannot relate to the way we talk. Our conversations cannot be making sense anymore. So they tend to shift and just, you know, step back, especially the ones that are not married and they're not, you know, getting married anytime soon. Aside from that, some husbands will come and say, now that you're married to me, I'm going to be your only friend. I don't like this your friend. You talk to your friend too much. You don't need to have so many friends. Or probably you start hanging out with a particular kind of friends, or a particular kind of friends got your back all the time. They start complaining and be like, this your friend, this your friend. You have to stay away from this friend just because they are feeling insecure about the friend. They just feel like they don't like the friend. They will always look for something about it. A dumb woman would choose to truly ignore a friend and say, I got my man said I shouldn't have friends, so my man. She's dumb, okay? So now you neglect the friend that you've known years, that's been there for you years, even before you met your man, just because your man says you don't need a friend. And now you think that because you married your best friend as a man, you don't need any other friend in your life anymore. That is a false teaching or a false thing to tell any married woman, that you don't need friend. Imagine if this woman didn't keep this a friend, didn't make this a friendship strong, and she's not like taking this friendship as a soulmate, just like the last stage. Think about it. Don't you think that she might just die in the house like that because her husband doesn't do hospital and she'll be too weak to drive? And if you're sick, you actually need somebody beside you. At least I've been sick a couple of times. I always want someone beside me. It's not like when you're sick you want to be alone. No, when you're sick you always wish someone is beside you to help you do some things. Even if they're just sitting there looking at you, you like it. It makes you feel better. So she doesn't have anybody, she doesn't have a friend because her husband said no to her friend. Who's going to take her to the hospital? You all see, this video had a lot to learn. And the other woman that was talking about her story having COVID during 2020 was a very touching story. It shows how men will leave you when they can leave you when you're sick. They will just look at you and be like, because you're not actually useful to them anymore. They are with you because you're doing something to them. So now that you don't have the power to do the things that they are seeing in you. You can't cook and clean. You're not standing up, so you're just lying down on the bed. They can't stand it. Most of them eventually leaves, and the relationship it's over. Like. Anyways, let me know your all thoughts about this video down comment section. You all, and this is like, how would I put it, an advice, like you need that friendship so much, like a girl that is always there for you, a woman that you can call, like they are better, way better than a guy friend. To me, especially when you're in a relationship with that guy, your woman friend, you will always need them. And stop making them as your second option. They should also be your first option, because they will be there for you. See, a woman friend will be there for you even when nobody is there. Even when your family members are not there, your woman friend, your girlfriends will be there for you. They are always there for you, especially the ones that are genuine and the good ones. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section, and thank you all so much for sticking around to this point. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe, and kindly turn on the post notification bell so you can get notified when I upload interesting video like this one. Okay, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.